If you ever find a solid lid coffin, run. The church didn't pour hundreds of pounds of metal over a grave to protect the corpse from the dirt. They did it to protect the dirt from the corpse. In modern science, lead has one main purpose: blocking lethal radiation. It stops toxicity from reaching the surface. But in the archives of demonology and the Vatican, lead is the metal of Saturn, the metal of absolute restriction, a spiritual quarantine meant for eternity. Today's file, the lead quarantine. This case is terrifyingly real, submitted directly to the archive, and it documents a catastrophic spiritual breach. In a remote Romanian village, a family bought the rights to an ancient crypt. The monument listed many names, but inside, there were only 2 coffins, made entirely of lead. Catholic church records revealed a bizarre detail. 2 German nuns had been buried there back in the 1800s. They were supposedly poor, but a lead coffin in the 1800s cost an absolute fortune. There is only one answer. Those women were excommunicated or carried a demonic plague. They were sealed away until human greed broke the seal. The family made a fatal decision. They wanted to sell the heavy coffins for scrap metal. A 40-year-old unmarried cousin was sent inside. For an entire summer, she stayed in that crypt, moving the lead, sweeping, breathing the 2-century-old stagnant air. Without knowing it, she opened the door. What followed? It wasn't a normal illness. A bizarre sudden flu hit her, and her liver failed completely in just a few days. She died in absolute agony. In demonology, the liver is the center of the blood, the battery of vital energy. She didn't die from a physical disease. She was devoured by whatever she released from the lead. Her death triggered a massive cover-up, even though she was Orthodox. She was buried by a Catholic priest. The family was notified late. There was no wake. It was an emergency, late-night burial, using a massive coffin that required 6 men to lift. It was, most likely, lined with lead. Why? Because the priest checked the archives and knew exactly what entity had escaped that crypt. The infection had transferred to the woman, and she had to be sealed away before it destroyed the whole village. The curse consumed their bloodline. Her grandfather, whom the family claims actually burst from his coffin, forcing them to pour wet concrete over his grave immediately, confirms their blood attracts Strigoi phenomena. Today, the relatives who fled the village still dream of the dead woman. She appears in nightmares, terrified, screaming, "This is hell. I have a critical warning for you. The person who sent me this case admitted they let children play on those tombs, just to test if they feel anything. Please, stop. Children have no spiritual shields. They are empty glowing vessels. Exactly what an ancient entity escaping a seal is looking for. Respect the quarantines of our ancestors. Do not scratch the lead, and do not wake what was so desperately put to sleep. What would you have done with that crypt? The hunter's archive remains open, but some doors should stay closed forever."